Well, hey folks, it's your old pal NordVPN, and welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. Today I want to tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Blue Chew, the only chewing gum for men that will make your erections so erect that you'll wind up on an FBI watch list. Hey, it's King Waspin here. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. I would like people to entertain the idea that perhaps the supposed surrender that WotC made on the OGL and putting the SRD into the Creative Commons was actually them winning. They still seem to have achieved like the bulk of their goals. Nothing's interfering with the release of the VTT, and all their marketing plans are in place. And it's still causing a lot of the third-party creators to disassociate themselves with the D&D brand anyway because of all the stink over this. So, aside from them being able to get that perfect grip on control over the branding, they still seem to have most of their pieces in play on their chessboard. However, to all of us on the other end of that spectrum, the wind's been taken out of our sails. There was a couple weeks there where the entire community was focused like a laser beam on one target, and pretty much all of their considerations that normally divide us had seemingly disappeared. I know myself and a lot of other YouTubers saw a significant amount of growth and views and stuff come onto videos during then. But, I notice on my own channel, and from what I can observe of other people's channels without actually getting to see, what's going on in their background algorithms and numbers and all that kind of stuff. But it seems that, yes, a lot of us are getting more views on average per video than we were before all of this. But that initial high tide mark has receded, and so we might be higher than where we were before the OGL. It has sunk back down a little bit. I'm not seeing as many people's videos about RPG stuff popping up in recommendations. Because several channels that I have noticed seem to have just kind of gone quietly right back to telling people, hey, here's the top 5 ways you can play an elf. It's deflated the balloon. And so they'll have a nice year now until 1 D&D comes out for all this noise and hubbub to die back down, and they'll be able to have their launch. They were probably already expecting book sales for this last year, 5th edition, to be in a slump because the book sales were already seemingly trending down a little bit for them just because of the quality of the releases and people getting tired of the system and all that stuff. Naturally, anyway, before this OGL stuff happened. The OGL, I don't know, I've already done videos about it. I think the whole OGL thing's kind of lazy and a cop-out for people to, try to build a career as a writer, writing for somebody else's stuff anyway, instead of coming up with your own things. But that's just me. Obviously, there's a demand in the market for more D&D products, and D&D is able to put out, and the OGL allows that to be a thing. But once it's all switched over to the VTT, that's not going to help people at all. No third-party 5th edition or 6th edition or whatever they're going to call it product is going to necessarily be easily compatible with any of the features that the virtual tabletop's going to use. It's not going to have its assets in the program or any of that kind of stuff. Custom character classes, custom monsters, custom settings. And unless you're designing a video game and you're a video game designer and you're actually putting together all the wireframes and skins and all that other kind of stuff, the OGL staying around, it doesn't necessarily impact the core of what they're really trying to push for. And now that everyone's kind of gotten what they wanted, at least what they think they wanted, and everyone's able to kind of go back off to the little camp and do their little thing, more people might have peeled away from D&D and have given attention to D&D's competitors. But also, as I've said in previous videos, all of us were expendable in a way to them. Don't forget, we're obstacles. We're a problematic customer base that prevents the people in the company from being able to maximize their profit because we gatekeep between the company and those delicious, delicious players who never want to spend any money. And once we're out of the way and they can replace us with artificial DMs, then they'll be able to rake in all that juicy, juicy player cash they've been missing out of. And so, yeah, having all of us turn our nose up at the new D&D and go off and do our own things, play the games, it suits them fine. They didn't want us around anyway. They want a new crop of people to come give them money to play the illusion of Dungeons and Dragons. And, they'll keep some party loyalists around, But, in truth, the rug has been pulled out from under us. Any hope that there would have been a concerted effort across the community, especially from the people in the creative, end of social media, kind of keeping the banner going to fight against what one D&D is going to be and try to convince people to stay away from it and that it's bad. It's massively undermined, if not been entirely just, yanked out of our hands. Without the OGL and the SRD controversy, there's just nothing to get all that rabid attention around. And I miss those few weeks there where we were all focused together like a laser on something. It was kind of nice, not just for the view count, but just for just the whole mood in the community. There's undertones of fear and anger, but there was also kind of it was alive. There's a freshness to it all. It was nice, and now it's gone. And so, did Wizards really lose? Or did we not win? Who knows? Leave comments and stay waspinated.